I would like to define what culture is in a simple way. This might be useful for people in debate if ever challenged to define culture. This challenge is often a parry from the left to avoid conceding that culture can be changed by immigrants, for example. I shall define culture as follows. A culture is the set of tools passed by the current 3 living generations of a society to the next generation, such that the next generation can be successful in that society. By society, I mean a population with a common shared culture. By successful, a person, you, want to get X for some X. For example, X could be food, shelter, information, etc. If you get it, you are successful. If you do not, then you are not. The tools are what you use to help you to get X. To explain what the tools are, consider how you get X. You get X by interacting with other people. These interactions can be direct or indirect, but at some point your getting X depends on another person. Therefore, you want the interaction to succeed. How can you be sure that it will? If the other person in the interaction were you would know how to make the interaction a success. You know everything that you know and like, so you know how to behave to get the best out of yourself. With a stranger, you cannot be so sure, but if you know what tools they like to use in interactions, then you can increase your likelihood of success by adopting their tools. As you adopt these tools, you become more like the other person, so their interaction approaches that of an interaction with themselves. As you become more like them, they are equally more like you, so your chances of success approaches 100% too. Nothing is perfect, so let's assume that you can only reach 95% success. How do you know if an interaction is going well? At any moment in it, you have expectations, and so does the other person. If your expectations are not being met during an interaction, then you cannot trust the interaction to reach the destination that you wanted. You cannot expect success. Interactions will be abandoned if expectations are not met. Your tools tell you what the expectations are and what you need in order to meet them, so that you can meet them and not cause other people to abandon your interactions with them. There are too many individual tools to list, but let's break them down into categories. Looks. You are expected to look a certain way or not a certain way. Should you be dressed properly, underdressed, overdressed, in uniform, casual, clean-shaven, made up, clean, dirty, etc.? Sound. You are expected to sound a certain way or not a certain way. Your volume, your tone, the pitch of your voice, the language that you speak, the cadence of your speech, your accent, and the consistency of each, etc. Vocabulary. You are expected to express your meaning in an understandable way, using general or specialist terms, formal or informal speech, strict or loose grammar, using profanity or not, jokes or not, quoting cultural references or not, etc. Similarly, you are expected to understand the vocabulary used by the other side. Action. Your body is expected to behave in a certain way or not in a certain way. Should you be standing, sitting, or lying down? Should you be moving or still? Should you be in motion or stationary? What about eye contact, body language, facial expressions, hand gestures, etc.? Attitude. You are expected to be a certain way or not a certain way. Violent, aggressive, passive, calm, excited, passionate, sensitive, callous, etc. Perception. The other side expects to get what they want from the interaction. Are you letting them get it? Are they letting you get what you want? And what you want could be information, action, a product, a service, a design, etc. The person with whom you are interacting, the setting, and the purpose of the interaction will determine what is expected and what the tools needed are. For example, the tools that you need to take a lady out to dinner will be different from those needed to go fishing with a friend. Even if you are not interacting with a person, there are still expectations and tools. For example, abiding by the law or breaking it is an interaction. If you do not use the tools properly, then the interaction will fail. Depending on what the interaction is, the penalty of failure can be serious. For example, interacting poorly with the law could see you arrested. Interactions interact with each other. If you fail one interaction, then there will be a concern that you could fail the next one that is similar to the one you failed. If you succeed, then there's less concern about you failing the next one. Your reputation for success or failure could affect whether or not the next interaction even occurs. How do you know what tools to use? The culture is the set of tools, so if you are part of the culture, then you will know what is appropriate or expected for every occasion among people from the same culture, since they use the same tools. How can you be sure for this precise interaction that you are using the right tools? You can guess what is expected based on what you would expect. Remember that we assume that other people are 95% on the same page as you, or you them. You will have seen other people have approximately similar interactions to yours, and will know from what they did what you should do. You yourself will have had interaction like yours before already, and depending on how they went, will know what to do this time. Then, of course, the previous generations have already mastered the tools, so you learn from them, either because they deliberately teach you, or because you copy what they did in similar interactions. Hopefully it is now clear why I define culture as I did. I think that the definition is simple but workable, and I hope that it is found useful.